pies tomorrow. So set up and then you get. Hi there, everybody. We're making some pies finally. I guess for New Year's. Pies are good on New Year's. You gotta have some sort of delightful dessert. Even then, it's still the holidays after all. So today, what I've done is we're making a pie crust made out of 3 different nuts, which is pecans, and let's see, what are the other 2? You got your, I can't even think the name. You recognize what they are, though.
Pistachios?
Yeah, pistachios, and of course, wow, my brain's not working.
Macadamias?
Yeah, there you go. So what I've done is I blended those up in the blender and made it into a nut powder, and then mixed in some dates in with it to a certain consistency. So now it's kind of slightly more dates than it is nuts, maybe. And let's see, it should be about a good pie crust consistency, and it'll be plenty sweet and fatty tasting. To add a little more pizzazz to it, we're going to put some tiger nut flour in there. It's a pretty sweet sort of flour that goes good with confectionery baking. And then we'll put some raw carrot powder in there as well. Alright, we'll just mix it all together. Create a nice pie crust type material here. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. It'll crush good into the pie crust areas. Alright, let's start putting them on there. Come on over here. We'll want to slightly brown the pie crust, so I'll turn the oven on here, start preheating it. Alright, let's try some of this out. I don't know if it's the right consistency or not, but you're supposed to just start from the middle and you just squash yourself a pie crust. All the ingredients are pretty tasty, so even if they aren't perfectly mixed, it should be fine. Yeah, once I get it all shaped in here, I'll put some oil spray on top to try to help it hold its consistency as it bakes a little bit. So I'll just give you the example of doing one of these here. Of course, you have to really... The challenge is getting it thin. So you got 2 big, nut pieces in there still. It's not... Oh, that's a pit. It's supposed to be pitted dates. That's not good. Ouch, good thing I caught that. Didn't seem like a nut. Alright. Add a little bit more to the sides. See if we can get this just right. I see, and we'll pull to the sides. Yeah, the texture's a little funny. I'll have to experiment around with the texture of these to get it just right, but seems like I'm getting somewhere here, doesn't it? And the other thing is you don't want your crust too thick, and so this is a little bit iffy on the thickness. I might have to figure out some additives that improve this, because it's just binding up too much still. And maybe my pecan and chunks of dates are a little large. That might also be making it too thick. Alright. Anyways, though, let's say that's our first pie crust. It might not hold together, but it'll sure taste good. I'll figure the rest out later. Alright. Just so we have some even coverage, I guess. That's what I'm trying for here anyways. Alright. There we go. There's a nice thick pie crust. Now let me get my oil wherever it is. Just this. Oh, there it is. We'll spray it down with oil. Stick it in the oven for a little while. There we go. Alright, that's part one done. I'll get the filling area prepared for what goes in there, and then we'll turn the camera back on, I suppose. Some strawberries. Next, we put in some daters. There we go. And then we'll put in some lemon juice. And a banana.
A banana?
Yeah.
A banana.
There we go. Let's see if this will all grind up or not. Yeah. Alright. Well, we'll get it. Alright. Now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use this type of mixture in with your chunks of fruit, and you just fill up your pie with this with a little bit of added sweetener, and then you bake it a little while, and voila, you got deliciousness. So, I will pour some of example of this in here. And what I'm thinking is we might have some I'll check to see if we have any peaches in the freezer. I think we'll make some peach pie too. Should be pretty good. I think I'll mix a little bit of this also with my pumpkin pie right here, so that it has some of that strawberry in with the pumpkin pie filling. That should be real tasty. Alright, we can turn the camera back on in a few minutes when we got another step going. Alright, now we're doing the internals of the pie. For this pie, I'm just making it pumpkin, and then I'm using the banana strawberry mixture that they recommend for the kind of clumpy consistency of the pie. So I'm just going to take this amount that I've made of that, and I'm going to add the pumpkin flavoring, spoon this to it. Then whole bunch of honey, of course, so that it has that proper sweety flavor. You want to use some nice raw honey, preferably one. See, the raw honey, it crystallizes better in, especially in fruit when you're baking, but in anything better. But also, you want to get honey that has exotic flowers that the bees got their pollen from. Like this is nothing too exciting, except for it's got something called basswood or basswood and sunflower. So, and alfalfa and clover. Those are hard to avoid, but it sounds like it's pretty tasty. And I've tried some of this honey. It is really good, and it should increase the flavor of the pie nicely. All right, there we go. So we'll just mix this up together. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Guess it's mixing. I just gotta work it around town. There we go. Oh, that mixture of smells is heavenly. As soon as it actually gets mixed together, it's just like, wow, it smells good. It's gotta taste good too. Alright, come over here and we'll just pour our example amount into one of our pies. These have been in the oven for, 5 to 7 minutes and have gotten nice and browned. So we'll just fill our first pie up with our example goop here. And then we'll do the same with the other ones once I make more of it. And we'll have 4 big pies to put in the oven. Oh yeah. If you want with these type of pies, you can put like maybe some raisins on top of them if you're that kind of person. Maybe some blueberries otherwise, grapes, whatever. Alright, perfect. We'll see you in a minute. Hello everyone, we're back and we're putting the final fruit into the pie. I got the last one I'm doing here. I left the fruit chunky, you know, so that it'll taste nice in the pie. So we'll pour all this in here. Smells so good. And because, even though we add quite a bit of honey to each pie, the pumpkin's pretty, you know, bold of a flavor, so we're going to want to add even more sugar to the top of the pie. I mean, this pie recipe calls for no added sugar, and you could do that, you know, or use whatever you want to sweeten it so you can meet your health needs, but just going to be doing lots of sugar. But first, I'm going to put some nutmeg. I'm going to sprinkle it along the top of each pie. Give it that extra flavor with the sweet on top. I couldn't find my pumpkin pie spice, so I'll just be using some nutmeg. We'll see how that turns out. Should be pretty tasty. Then we'll add our sugar. Whoa, those are some unrealistic punching noises.
I know, right?
That was incredible. I want to be able to punch that fast, like 8 times in a second. Damn. That's just magic. Just gonna use this all up. Make it extra sweet. And for grittiness, we'll throw some of these on there. We'll experiment. We'll try grittiness on one of them here, and we'll see if we like the grittiness or not. There we go. Let's see here. Where's my spoon at? Just a second. Then so it doesn't fry too much, we'll just dab it around a little. Ooh, gotta be careful. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it's smelling even better now. We'll experiment and leave that one with the sugar not mixed in. We'll just see what we like, you know? It's experimentation always. And I guess we'll leave that one like that too because it's got the little crumbly bits. Alright, we're going to find out how delicious this pie is. We'll put it all in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes at whatever they say to do it at, 285 and below 300 I think, so 290, that'll work. Oh yeah, it's gonna be pie time. These some big, bold pies. The flavor better match the smell, because then it'll be pure magic. We'll make some whipping cream and let those bake, and then we'll let you watch us eat it. Okay, we are taking the last 2 pies out of the oven. I had to bake them at 350 for like 25 minutes. To get them to even heat up, you know, like they're supposed to. They're finally hot, good enough. So we'll put them in the refrigerator. Come on over here. That's pretty tasty. Already got a couple of them in here. They're firming up, starting to. Put this one in there. And the other one. Alright, and then you can take a look. We made our whipping cream. We can put that in the refrigerator too, and then we'll come back and eat the pie when it's cooled off in like 20 or 30 minutes. Alright, and now you'll finally get to see us eat the pie. It's just been in a lot of stages, but I've just been experimenting a lot. Like, I had to figure out how much flour to add to the crust, and then I had to add a bunch of extra oil to the crust to get the consistency right fully. So I'll have to write that out as information for you to look at when you're trying to make something like I am here. Alright, I'll see you in a little bit.
Give this man some pie. Kerplunk. There it goes on the pie. What do you think this man will do next now that he has covered his dessert in foamy white delicious goodness? He will clear his throat, ladies and gentlemen, to prepare himself for the first bite of his new favorite holiday pie.
Oh, it does feel good. Oh my god.
Alright, I better try some. Oh yeah, crumbly bumbly pie. Repeat the sounding joy.
Technically, it's supposed to
whatever.
solidify overnight. That's why I keep doing it.
Yeah, I know. We're eating it sooner. It's still pretty hot. Takes quite a while to cool down. It's such a big old pie. So thick and heavy. Alright, let's try this. Ooh. Wow, that's really good. It tastes like, I don't know, like pumpkin's been like, people like, hey, yeah, what if you did that? What if you like pumped apple chunks into growing pumpkins and sealed them back up so then they're like apple pumpkins? That's kind of what this tastes like. Yeah. Except it's not apples. So it's like, but it tastes like there's apples in it. That's odd. It's just general fruitiness, I guess. I don't think there's apples. Whatever. It's pretty delicious, though. He's already eaten all his. That hat makes you look like you belong in, like, a Matrix movie or something.